Live from Harbor Station, it's the Vector Spaceman Show. Now, here's your host, Vector Spaceman.
Hello, Space Cadets. Welcome back, everybody. It's your old pal, Vector Spaceman. Coming back to you live once more, straight from Harbor Station. And broadcasting, of course, live on all frequencies to our beautiful planet Earth. Now, whether you're watching us live or after the show, we're glad to have you on board. Thanks for helping us make outer space the place to be. Tonight, Friday, October 24th, 2025. He literally cannot be stopped. This man refuses to cease streaming. Welcome back, Space Cadets. And if you can believe it, it's a Friday once again. I'm Vector Spaceman. This is the Vector Spaceman Show. The weekend hits oh so right this time of year. We're just 1 week away from spooky Halloweeny times. Ooh, have you got your costumes ready, Space Cadets? Have you got all your tiny individually wrapped candies all lined up and ready to go? We're spending tonight continuing our quest to complete the latest No Man's Sky expedition, the Breach update. We managed to finish the first tier of challenges on Wednesday's show, despite some silliness on our part. Let's try to get at least one more tier of Chivos done tonight. Stick around for some spacey action, some shenanigans. Now, if you missed the last show, we spent last night over on friend of the show, Rashawn Galaxy's channel, playing the latest release in the Jackbox Party Pack series, pack number 11. Big shout out to Rashawn Galaxy for hosting that event. Bam. Check out Rashawn's channel while the VOD's still up. See what you missed. A whole slew of cool new games and a stacked cast of talented streamers. The artistic stylings of our talented friends, little ad hoc voice work, some trivia challenges, and more. We all had a great time, and I know Rashawn wants to do more of these collabs in the future, so expect to see Spaceman and friends gathering once again in the not-so-distant future. But of course, if you want to stay up to date so that you never ever miss a show, follow all of our broadcasts and be sure to follow Vector Spaceman on Blue Sky, YouTube, and of course, right here on Twitch. Swell, super duper. So after Wednesday's stream, after our little struggle session, trying to get through the first tier of expeditionary challenges, we raided into Palm's No Man's Sky expedition stream. She was playing that as well, where we swiftly learned that quartzite can be refined into chromatic metals. So we didn't have to spend all that time scrimping and saving and scrounging and salvaging, trying to get credits so that we could just buy it from the trade terminal. Well, you live and you learn, Spaceman. You live and you learn, I suppose. Now, not that we don't love playing a little No Man's Sky, but that's not even the most exciting thing about tonight. Local sports action. Tonight is Game 1 of the Blue Jays versus the LA Dodgers in the World Series. It's baseball business. Is Spaceman a big baseball fan? No, not really. But you gotta rep the home team. We only really get invested in sports stuff when one of the local teams is doing unusually well. And this year they've managed to do that. Gone all the way to the World Series. Ace, how you doing? Hope you're having a Friday. Hope your weekend is starting well. It's a good time for a Friday. We've reached the point in the week where we definitely need a Friday. Everything's lining up proper. Hope you're relaxing, maxing, chillaxing. What's good? We're all good. We're going to be playing a little No Man's Sky tonight, doing some more of this recent expeditionary content. And I was just talking about how presently, like at the exact same time that we went live, was supposed to be the start time for Game 1 of the MLB World Series. The Toronto Blue Jays. That's our team. That's where we're from. Versus the LA Dodgers. You know what's whack about The Blue Jays, though, we're going to get into a little sport talk for the moment because, that's what everybody tunes in for. It's the only Canadian team in Major League Baseball. And it's only got one actual Canadian team member who is only a Canadian because he happened to be born here at the time, got raised elsewhere, and then eventually signed back onto the team when he was an adult and a sports star. Working on schoolwork in the background, but I'll be chatting when I can. You do that. You do you. Get that schoolwork done so you can enjoy your weekend proper. That's good planning. That's gumption right there. By golly. That's forward thinking. But yeah, it made me think of... Oh, you work over the weekend? Oh, rough. All right. Well, enjoy what little moments of levity and enjoyment you can. But this situation here with our team member, so we've got one actual Canadian on the only Canadian baseball team, which is Vladimir Guerrero. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? Yeah, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. And he does well enough, good for him. Quality sportsman. But it made me think of, like, back when I used to watch the Overwatch League, and how it doesn't matter if you're, the London team, or the Seoul team, or the Australia team, or the East Coast US team, or whatever. It was just, it was mostly just Koreans. Mostly just transplants, folks that have been hired just to rep the teams. Which at that point, it's like, well, why are we even trying to make it seem like these are local, like, city representative teams? And same thing with the Blue Jays. Most of the players are Americans, and if they're not, then they're like Dominicans or Cubans or something like that. So it's like, really, it's not that Canadians are great at baseball. It's just that we managed to hire, an unusually performant team this year. And is that worth being proud of? I'm not certain. I'm not entirely sure. It sort of takes some of the wind out of your sails when it comes to being like, yeah, let's go team. But everybody's excited for this series. They're playing the first two games locally in Toronto. I'm kind of hoping. Yeah, woo, go team. You gotta root for the home team. Even if, most of the team is, hired labor, as it were, from out of country. Specialists, no doubt. We're not really set up to foster a baseball culture here in Canada. That's the thing. There's only so many decent, nice, sunny days out of the year. Which I think is why our team spends most of the offseason training down in the States. Now, hockey, absolutely, we got some good hockey players. But baseball, I guess it never really caught on. But Blue Jays are going to be playing against the LA Dodgers, and the LA Dodgers, one of their stars, is Shohei Ohtani. So it's like, do I root for the local team, which has got one Canadian? Or do I root for the American team, which has got one Japanese who was born in Tohoku, which is the region of Japan I used to live in? What's a spaceman to do? Well, I guess we just stream. We ignore the game and we just check in on what happens later. But here's the thing, they're playing the first 2 games here. Let's say the Jays go all the way. Back-to-back wins. Game 3 and 4 gets played in the States. By game 4, they could snatch the victory. The victory, if you will. So I'm kind of hoping that it goes at least to a game 5, because then maybe we'd get to see them back in Toronto for it. And maybe we could even drive in and experience the hype. It would be impossible to get tickets to the actual game itself at this point, but I'm sure we could find, like, whenever there's big sports stuff, there's always outdoor viewing areas that are set up all over the city. And that would be pretty rad. Plus, who doesn't love seeing games, championship games, go into, game 5, game 6, game 7. The stakes, the tension. Woo! Oh, speaking of quality entertainment, I also got tickets to see that new Frankenstein movie. Let's-a go. Should be seeing that tomorrow. That's going to be my new last film I ever saw in a theater. And I think that's a pretty good one. Mr. Guillermo del Toro. Who doesn't love his work? I know, and it's only in limited showings. That's the thing. It's only in theaters for a couple weeks before it shows up on, like, Netflix. Kieran, how you doing? Thank you. Thank you. Hope everything's well with our very important frog. Just woke up for a nap. I almost fell asleep before stream. I'm understanding this. So I'm feeling a little woozy, if you will. But I'm energized now. I'm here. I'm well rested. I'm loving it. I'm killing it. Had a good dinner tonight. Gonna go see a movie tomorrow. Our local baseball team is in the World Series. So that's all going on as well. It's an eventful weekend here in Space Canada. And we're gonna play some space game. Wanted to stay up at the bed called too hard. It's getting colder here as well. Seasons changing. It's hard to stay out of the bed and ignore our spacey obligations. You know? Nice warm space bed. Ignoring our little space tasks. But hey, the weekend's ahead of us. We can all sleep in tomorrow, except for Ace, who has to work over the weekend. And of course, anybody else who has pressing obligations. Oh, but hey, if you're feeling down over this weekend, here's something you can do. Check out friend of the show, Roshan Galaxy. Oh, I can't shout it out yet. Hold on. Who was hyping up, I was hyping it up, who was hosting a Jackbox Party Pack collab with Spaceman and a whole bunch of friends. Just last night, so that VOD should still be there. Check that out. That's twitch.tv/Roshan Galaxy, friend of the show. Definitely check them out. How you doing, Pig Spaghetti? Bringing democracy to bugs and bots in an hour or so? Nice! War never changes. We're going back to the creek. Caught a bit of that, says Ghost. Howdy, howdy, howdy. it was a good time. We had plenty of cool folks there. There was me, there was Jammy, there was Alpine, there was Ellie from the Nova Swarm, Rashawn, of course, and then Ava and a couple people that I just met last night, Plum and Starmain. All quality folks. And a good selection of games. Like, I've always been a big fan of those Jackbox party packs. This new one, all bangers, all heaters. Not one single flop. Watching it, I know I had to ditch movie night in order to go, participate in a collab, doing my due diligence as a streamer. Shucks. I hope you guys enjoyed the movie, though. Followed all you from Jackbox last night? Yeah, I remember seeing you in the chat. It's good to have you here. Welcome to the station, Harbor Station, with me, your host, Vector Spaceman, where we stream musical content and gaming content and animation and collabs and chit-chat and all sorts of stuff. We do our best. And we have the slushy machine. Let's go check out the slushy machine. Let's go behind the desk. And we go dabba 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 da, and check it out. You can actually redeem a nice cup of blue in the redeems for just $1.99. There we go. And look at that. Did you notice? The little blue level went down. Oh, we're running out. Oh, and Kieran got the first. Well done. Oh, we're running out of blue. Better get yours quick before we run out. Oh, Ace, you got the 69th serving. Score. The funny internet number. What if you wanted orange? We haven't set up orange yet. We need to set up more hotkeys if we want to do different flavors. Let's go, right? But everybody loves blue. It's the best flavor. We got Astro Orange, Lunar Lime, and of course, blue. Everybody loves blue. Dabba 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 dabba. Back to the station. Yeah, we got little interactive elements on the station here. Pop open the airlock, why don't we? Ooh, have we got a guest? No, it's just us tonight. We haven't restocked the hot dogs in a while either. Well, yeah, we try to make everything look... The aesthetic goal is to be like, early 2000s Flash animation sort of looking. That's what we're going for here. That's what we try to capture. It's been pretty good so far. A void door. Yes, a door into the void. Hold on. Let's see here. I'll be leaving you all now. I'm getting into the airlock, and I will see you guys next time. So long! Okay, I guess we won't end the stream. I guess we'll just pop over the airlock, and who could it be? Oh wow, it's Vector Spaceman of the Vector Spaceman Show! Zoop, 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 zoop. And we're back. Yeah, everything you see here, all made by the Spaceman. Pretty self-sufficient. Try to be a go-getter. Try to teach ourselves how to do all this stuff. That's the fun of streaming, you know? So I'm glad to have you with us. Tonight we're stepping back into space, indeed. We're spacing ourselves with some more No Man's Sky content. There's been a big expeditionary update that came out just on Wednesday. We were playing Wednesday night, got through the first tier of Chivos, of little challenges. Hopefully we'll get through at least the second wave on tonight's show. And all the while, of course, we're going to be chit-chatting with the Space Cadets. So you guys, let us know how your weekend's getting off, how it's getting started. if you got big plans, feel free to tell us about it. Spaceman's gonna go see a super cool movie tomorrow. Gonna go see the Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein. I'm super excited about that. It looks great, and I'm gonna be very pleased to update the last film that I ever saw in a theater. Because who knows how long we're gonna have theaters for anymore, you know? You wanna make sure the last one you ever saw was something worthwhile. MZs, how you doing? We are doing well. Thank you so much for inquiring. Oh, it's Frankenstein. My bad, my bad. How could we forget? My hubby bought a KitchenAid blender, and we're probably going to be making bread. Doing a little bacon. Doing a little domestic chemistry. Love it. What movie is that from? Young Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein. Kieran's on board with the bread. All right, we love to see it. We love to see shared interest in the chat. You're gonna be carving pumpkins, Kieran? Nice. What are you gonna carve into your pumpkin? Classic little jagged face? Or are you trying to get enterprising? You trying to put something fancy up in there? I haven't carved a pumpkin in years, and I don't know why, because it's always fun. Probably because the only big impediment to carving pumpkins is that you have to go out and actually buy a pumpkin. And who wants to do that? Try to carve a frog, nice. But let's be real, it will probably look not safe for work by quote-unquote accident. Delivered? Pumpkin by delivery? I would feel so lazy to get a pumpkin delivered by courier. Listen, it is no problem to source a pumpkin where Spaceman's at. We might be a city spaceman, but there's still plenty of places to get pumpkins around here. Could make the pumpkin carving more fun by pretending it's in the sausage party world. You know what? I don't think we would. Excellent suggestion, but I don't think we would. Also, how you doing tonight? Rockhaven. Hope your weekend's starting off well. Starting off swell. So you guys, here's what we're up to tonight. Gonna try to get through. Oh, Ghost, I missed your message. Just finished the 3rd milestone. Would have finished it, but I got sidetracked looking for ship parts to make it look cool. That's always the problem. Every time one of these expeditions come out, it's like, hey, you gotta start from ground zero, work your way up again, making a cool spaceship. You don't want to be flying around some piece of junk. I understand. I get this. I was hoping you knew Spaceman Spiff, as he's also a fellow spaceman. Yes, we're quite familiar with Spaceman Spiff. And all the other Watersonian personae. You know, it's wild to think, like, when I was growing up, like, I'd read Calvin and Hobbes comic books and stuff, and, like, I would have sworn, like, this is a comic strip that's, like, 50 years old, or something like that. Because when I was reading it, it was not in print. It was not, you know, in newspapers. You could only get them in like the big collected volumes, right? And the artwork was so detailed, especially on the Sunday strips, so well inked. I always thought this must be the work of some ancient master, the likes of which we may never see again. But no, Bill Watterson was still alive, still kicking. He just decided he didn't want to draw comics anymore. In fact, I think he's still alive. Let me look this up real quick. Bill Watterson. Bill Watterson is an American cartoonist. Still breathing, still killing it. The man's only 67 years old. He's still got life in him. Calvin and Hobbes ran from 1985 to 1995, so 10 years. And then he was just like, you know what? That's it. I'm good. Done. That's enough. You know, compare that to someone like Jim Davis is still alive, isn't he? Mr. Garfield. Yes, he is. I think he's still cartooning to this day. One of the most widely syndicated comic strips. Yeah, some cartoonists will just ride it out till they literally can't anymore. But Watterson was like, all right, we've had 10 years of this. We've had a good run. There's really nothing else we can do that's not going to be, you know, derivative at this point. Let's go exploring. End it off on a high note. Yeah, it really is prime comics. That was one of the things I wanted to do growing up. Little Spaceman lore for you. That was one of my earliest ambitions, was to be a comic strip cartoonist. Only to grow up and find out that's not really a thing anymore because newspapers aren't really a thing anymore. And so then it was like, ooh, but we could still make webcomics. We could still do that. And then you find out there's 100,000 webcomics. And more every day. Kind of like feel that Picasso paintings were from the 14 to 1600s when he was alive in the 70s. Yeah, you know what? That's a pretty good analogy. You think of him as some, you know, ancient revered master. But, you know, was really kicking it in living memory. Trying to figure out what Bill Watterson did after Calvin and Hobbes. He does not sign autographs or license his characters. Watterson was once known to sneak autographed copies of his books onto the shelves of a bookstore in his hometown. That's really cool. I'm not going to do autographs or anything like that. I'm just going to go into bookstores and sign my own stuff secretly. Yeah, because you'd imagine that Calvin and Hobbes would be prime real estate for like a TV adaptation or a movie adaptation or something like that. But he's just never let anybody get their hands on it. Maybe one day, 20 years from now or something, the Watterson estate will let somebody take a crack at or something like that, but maybe we're better off not having some stylized film adaptation or something like that with characters voiced by celebrities of the day. I mean, why not? Spaceball 2's comes out next year. That, I can't imagine that's going to be good. I can't imagine that's going to be good at all. Am I going to see it? Probably, but definitely not in the theater, I can tell you that much. Flex my Canadian heritage and watch it on some sketchy website, perhaps. But not gonna give them a single spacey dime. That I can assure you. Some things just don't need to be sequels. Some things just don't need to be a franchise. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Alright, you guys. What say we get down to business? We're gonna put on our gaming hands here. And we're gonna head on over to the big screen. See, look at that, Kieran. Now you got even more stuff to spend your cadet credits on. How much blue can you take, honestly? Make sure you don't get a tummy ache. Will it refill? It will run out, and when it runs out, we have to refill it. So actually, we can test that out. Before we do anything, I can show you how that works. So we'll go back to the desk, and we'll dabba 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 onto frame, just so everybody can see how it works here. All right, so let's buy a few more blues, you guys. Who's feeling some blue? Who's got room in their stomach? Do your part, do your duty. Drain the tank. Oh, our latest and greatest space cadet. Thank you so much for the follow. You're part of the ship, part of the crew now. You've got an important duty, which is to order yourself a delicious cup of blue. That cool, refreshing drink. Is it secretly just antifreeze? It's a good question. Kieran! A certified space ace, thanks so much. It's why I followed. Well, hey, now you'll always be up to date for a Spaceman broadcast. 13 months? Yeah, that's a year. That's what they call a baker's year. I think we're 1 or 2 orders away from draining it out. So I'll tell you what, I'll even order myself up some blue. I'll even take a drink. Glug, glug, glug. Oh, I think we got one more. We got one more serving in the tank. It lied to you, Karen. By golly. Cold and refreshing. You gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay fluidated. You gotta stay liquidated up in space. 173? That's not enough to afford a big gulp of blue? Come on, Twitch. Kern's trying to waste all of his credits here. Throw him a bone. Can't hear you scream in space or complain about your dry throat because you ran out of blue. That's right, it's a shame. Gosh darn physics. There's no medium. But in the meantime, this gives me a great opportunity to actually load up the game that we're going to be doing. Follow me, you guys. We're going to go to the gaming screen. Dabba 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 da. Kieran, when you've got enough for that blue, you let me know. Wow, here he is. Here we are. We're going to be playing some No Man's Sky. You know what else I saw today? I saw they dropped a trailer for yet another Halo remaster of the original game. Sometimes it just becomes painfully obvious that they've really got nothing to do with that series these days. It's a shame, too. I used to be a big fan of that one. Fallout 4 is getting an anniversary edition, too? Heck, I might be more excited about that than I am about yet another Halo remake. Here we are, it's No Man's Sky. Listen, Halo bangs. Let's not get it twisted. Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach is cool even. But I'm saying they already did Halo Anniversary Edition. They already did a remake. Now they're doing another remake in a new engine. Here we have our beautiful, ugly ship. The NMS Expedient. The load time, so you know what it is? On our old PC, it used to take like a fat minute to load into game. But ever since we upgraded to an SSD, a solid state drive, it's just lickety-split. Super fast. Super fly, super smooth. So let's examine what we need to do today. We're on phase 2. We need to reach the second rendezvous point, which is going to give us underwater oxygen upgrades. Then we got to follow the fireship Arcadia. Relocate the time-lost wreck of the fireship Arcadia. Alright, I'm not exactly sure how... That'll probably get explained to us after we hit the second rendezvous point. We've already finished that one by blowing up asteroids. So that's going to give us platform plans, equipment plans, upgrades. Deploy the Nautilon submarine. So we're going to have to build a submarine. A submarine, Master Wayne. Super fly like a super spaceman. Yeah. We got to reach deep, deep depths. Collect sea glass. Huh. How do you collect sea glass? We've never had to do anything underwater. Discover an aquatic creature weighing over 10 kilograms. Okay, so we're gonna have to do some exploring. Swell. Super. Let's see. Anything in phase 3 that we can try to expedite? Kill biological horrors. Horrors? Water is like space. The deep. Extract salve, so we gotta do derelict freighter stuff again. Hungering tendrils. Where am I gonna find a hungering tendril? Vile brood. We might have to look some of this stuff up, but we can at least get most of this stuff in phase 2 done, I think. Let's get plans for the Nautilon. That's going to be our submarine. We need more dihydrogen jelly. Alright, let's examine the galaxy map and see where we gotta jump to. Has anybody ever gone like deep sea fishing before? Spaceman did that once or twice, and it's a very bizarre feeling once you get way out there and you can't see any land anymore. Just nothing but water around you. As far as you can see on every single side. eerie. It's gotta be what space is like, in a certain sense. You was in the Navy. Okay, then you do know what that's like. Now let's locate our second rendezvous. There it is. Can we make a direct warp? Looks like we can. We've got the range. Spaceman's got the range. Crazy and deranged. We'll park it like it's hot first. Just so that we update our repository of space stations. So if we have to warp somewhere, we can always use this as a hub. As a hubbub. And again, every space station that we've encountered in this expedition has been completely abandoned. So let's take a look at this system. No copper here either. But we did figure out that we can synthesize... Oh, there we go! So Karen, I think you just used the last of the blue. So if we go back to the desk... Here we are, at the desk. Bada. Now we should have empty blue. And I believe... if you look into the... it looks empty, but if you look into the cadet credit rewards, you shouldn't see the blue redeem anymore. Once it hits a 0 level, it cuts itself off. It removes it from the list of available redeems. Isn't that cool? So we know when it's completely empty. So if we want to refill it, then we have to go over to the machine like this, and we have to work on it. We gotta go da ba da ba da ba da do 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 do, mess around with the tubes, and then we have to manually refill. Bloop, and there we go. We've got more blue, you guys, and check it out. Under the redeems, it should have come back. Slushy, blue, yes. Just another little Spaceman contraption that we whipped up to work live on the show. Isn't that cool? I think that's cool. Yeah, we found some more in the back. We've always got blue in the back. Pretty cool and pretty straightforward. Pretty proud of that one. Should also make the refill a redeem. So we sort of like joked around like, oh, we should tie the refill to like a sub redeem or something like that. So anytime somebody subscribes, it refills the blue or something like that. But that seems, I mean, that rarely happens. We don't get a whole lot of folks who show up for the stream, so I'd feel bad, you know, gating it behind something like that. But we could make it like a channel point redeem. You're right about that. When can I get a chili cheese hot dog? Any chance? So we've got the little heat rack over here, which we haven't had filled with anything in a while. We really should update that as well. Next time we do like an art stream, we should make some more assets that we can place back here, you know? We could put different stuff on display on different days of the week. You know, just whatever's left over. Old donuts, spoiled hot dogs, some of those little taquito wraps or something like that. Be a real gas station, you know? Just like we're meant to be. Your last stop between Earth and the far reaches of digital space. Taco Tuesday. Yeah, there you go. Our most common streaming day is Tuesday, so it would make sense. All right, you guys, let's get back over to the gaming screen before No Man's Sky glitches out on us, because every time we Alt-Tab out of that, it always gives us problems. So let's go. Dabba 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 dabba. Gaming screen. Here he is. Here we are. No, it died. What did I just say? What did I just say, Spaceman? Good thing we save. Not to worry. It only takes us a few short seconds to reload. Back in the breach. Okay, so I don't think it registered us landing on the station. Oh, or maybe it did. I can't tell. But we're getting pulled back in anyways, so here we go. A little Jeopardy music. Do 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 do. All right, we land it, we save it, we get back in the cockpit, and then we Hashin. Okay, identified. Second rendezvous point. Locking in a warp. How's our pulse fuel? Still pretty okay. On our way to Udiati 4. Marine planets. Sounds like a perfect spot to build a submarine. All right, coming up on atmosphere. Tell me it's underwater, the rendezvous point. Seeing a lot of cloud cover. We are right above the surface here. Means that has got to be under the water. Gotta be. I did the expedition on Wednesday. Luckily, I didn't run into some of the issues I've seen pop up. So we haven't gotten, like, blown out of the back of the ship or anything like that. We haven't run into any problems yet. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood that doesn't happen to us. Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, never mind. We didn't have to go underwater at all. I'd love to get on this platform, though. Ugh, there we go. Okay. The ocean is terrifying, though. And it's nighttime, which doesn't make it any cooler. We've reached the second rendezvous. It's going to give us underwater survival blueprints and a powerful underwater oxygen upgrade. Okay. Water jets. Pressure membranes. It's just like Spaceman. Yeah, but it's dark and spooky, man. It's not like the colorful nebulonic space that we're used to up there. Alright, let's install some new tech. How about some efficient water jets? Living pearls? Where the heck am I gonna get living pearls? Arr, me pearls. Pressure membrane. Crystal sulfide. Where are we going to find that? Guess we can install an oxygen recycler. No problem there. Living pearls. You know what? I think they gave us living pearls during the last expedition. I should have hung on to those. Could probably convince Zoidberg to give you some living pearls. Why not Zoidberg? Oh shoot, I should have dropped all this junk. We'll make a storage container and we'll drop some junk. Underwater protection module. Yeah, we can install that bad boy. We can ditch that because we've got a built-in one. What is a Humboldt drive module? Upgrade for the Humboldt drive. Okie dokie. Relocate the time-lost wreckage of the fireship Arcadia. Well, how are we ever going to do that? Is it supposed to be right underneath us? Or do we have to use this item that we found? Log of the fireship Arcadia. We don't have that distress thingamajig anymore. Sentinel boundary map? No, that's not going to be helpful. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's try doing some of the other ones then. The submarine stuff. And maybe it'll all come to us in the end. Who knows? Let's go find some land. Aha! Land. Find some place with a nice shoreline. Would that be good? I guess that would be good. Well, hover mode right here. Let's go build ourselves a submarine. You know what I wanted to try? I saw Palm doing some sort of movement glitch, which is like... something like reloading and punching all at the same time. I sort of had it going there for a sec, but I wasn't getting any movement out of it. Oh, there we go. See that? No, not the punch and jetpack. That's a classic one, right? Everybody knows about the old punch jet. Get a little horizontal movement. No, this was you gotta have your weapon out and have expended at least one bit of ammunition. Oh, those are some big waves coming in. But then you gotta hold punch while you spam reload. And you get a big burst of speed. And you can hurt yourself, apparently. So, gotta be careful where and when you do that. Quartzite. You never know when you're gonna need more quartzite. It's actually quite a big vein. Incoming storm. Awesome. We love a little incoming storm. How to build platform. We need more oxygen and we need dihydrogen jelly. Okay. Also, why is everything on fire? Yes, I'm aware that it's falling. Temperature levels stabilizing. There we go. Alright, gotta make sure we've got oxygen on us. Let's make sure we've got all our chemicals. All our important chemicals should stay in our suit. Can't build in here. Oh my God, it's hot outside. Dihydrogen, because we're going to need to make some dihydrogen jelly. Welcome to Texas. So on our first playthrough on Wednesday, we actually found a planet that another player had run up on. Just this swampy planet. And they had named it Florida. Welcome to Space Florida.
Thermal protection falling.
It was pretty legit. Wouldn't go back though, you know? I feel like we could do without. Nothing like a cruel and inhospitable universe. Let's get a little closer to the shore while we're waiting for everything to stop burning. Now maybe we can find a little flatter area even. Maybe someplace like here. This looks good. This looks mighty good. Mighty, mighty fine. The Sentinels won't get you, the atmosphere will? Yep. We haven't had any deaths in this save yet. Not that anything's been too dangerous, of course. Alright, why can't we build? Is it because we're too close to the Corvette?
Thermal protection falling.
Okay, now we got an exocraft. We have deployed the Nautilon. That is going to give us more Chivos. Marine shelter, some oxygen, and hydrothermal fuel cells. I suffered 1 or 2, but I'm still not used to close quarters combat. Can't get too close. Don't touch anything in space. Marine shelter. An emergency survival module can be rapidly deployed on the seabed in the event of an oxygen or exosuit life support emergency. Okay. So try not to die under the sea, Spaceman. We will do our best. Oh, and the Nautilon's got storage as well. That's sick. I don't think we're going to need any frost crystals while we're down there. I don't think we're going to need any warp cells or starship batteries. Just trying to clear out space here. I don't think we're going to need any starship launch fuel down below.
Technology
Just use that gel. I don't know if we're going to need microprocessors. I never know when we're going to need microprocessors, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to need quartzite or salt or... Probably not going to need cobalt or magnetized ferrite. So some of that stuff we can leave behind. Queue up under the sea for your aquatic adventure. Yeah, the Spaceman show. And then before you know it, it's karaoke night again. Alright, sun's out. It's perfect submarining weather. Time to learn how to drive a submarine. Oh, okay. Nope, E is still exit. That's not what we want. That's surface. Q is descend. Blah, 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 blah. Dive, dive, dive. Ooh, look at this. No scan technology, okay. Can we get out then? And then I can scan. A Gekfessus! We discovered a gentle giant. What are we zoning in on here? Armored clam located. We got clams. Kelp sack. We need to get living pearls, let's not forget. Oh, and this is explaining how to find the fireship Arcadia. Okay. We use a debris rangefinder. Okay, so we gotta get more debris rangefinder. Fish! Ghost, we got fish! 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 Look at my fish. It's an amazing fish. And I love him. Those look like armored clams. Oh, it's an unidentified mineral. We got played. Teleport terminals, no. Looking for clams, people. Or what is sea glass? We gotta find some sea glass too. Creature pellets. It's like squirrel but in water? Yes. If there's one thing we love, it's squirrels. What kind of squirrels? Glad you asked. The Colombian ground squirrel. It's our favorite squirrel. Oh, what the heck is that? That looks like a hydrothermal vent. We gotta boogie our way on out of here. If I was an armored clam, where would I be? What would I even look like? This is now No Man's Sub. It's a whole new ball game. Under the sea. One day we'll find one. We also need to find sea glass. Oh, see, the deeper we go, we're losing sound. It's getting pressurized. What the heck is that? What the heck is that? It's an unidentified plant, but getting cytophosphate. Who doesn't love a little cytophosphate? Clams? Oxygen sac. I don't need no oxygen sack. Oh, we've located sea glass. Where? Oxygen sac. Somewhere over there. Okay. Right behind us. Somewhere around here? Ish? Estimated distance, 70 units. Sea glass. But where? Sea glass. But there. Hiding underneath the ground. We'll dig it out. What idiot buried all the sea glass? Is that sea glass? What am I looking at? Ooh, sea glass. Sweet. Now to get the heck out of here. Somewhere over there. Somewhere over where? Gosh darn, lost track of which way I was pointing. Our journey continues. So we know we're looking for shiny stuff on the ocean floor, under the sea. Oh. There's some shiny stuff. My life support is under strain. Units away. Oh, it's down there again. Deep sea samples. Love to see it. Still haven't managed to put eyes on armored clams, though. Space clams. 160 units out yonder. Almost dead ahead. Did I see movement? Maybe not. Perhaps it was just a trick of the light. And the depths. Hark! A sea glass. Galaxy's finest clam chowder. Just wanted to find some sea glass. Ha ha! Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys. Maybe we could try to surface a little, because it looks like all this depth is doing bad stuff to our life support systems. Surely there's got to be sea glass over yonder. I'm finding this expedition a little more tedious than the last one. Oh man. Closest one is still down there. Well, back into the terrible, frigid, dark, doomy depths, I suppose. Hello, sea glass. All we need is just a little sunshine down here, you know? Yeah, I'm starting to wonder, is this just like a big underwater repository of sea glass? Is there like a bunch more down here? I'm gonna get lost. I'm going to get super duper lost if I don't go back the way that I came.
Protection falling.
I gotta find that hole that I just made. I gotta skedaddle back upward. Oh dear. Oh dear. We gotta dig another hole. There's the Nautilin. I ain't trying to get pressurized to death. Not today. Not today, Space Cadets. Whew. So we can't change our view either. We can't do a cockpit view here. To be fair, I have to agree. I mean, the far reaches of open space are, well, open. True. We only need one more piece of sea glass, though. So let's find it.
Technology recharge.
191 units yonder. Alright, we're gonna get this glass, and then it looks like we're probably gonna have to run an ad. As terrible as that may be. Mr. Jeff Bezos needs to get his money up. There's one. Is there another one nearby? Why is there a floating one somewhere? That one's glitched out. Alright. There is one right there. Weapon charge depleted.
Technology recharge.
Good thing we brought some dust. There we go. We got our glass. Let's never do that again. Ooh, those are some gross looking fish. Those are not some amazing fish. And I don't quite care for them. Okay, when I step out of this thing, does it save? No, it's not like the Starship. Okay. So let's surface. We're going back to the island. Good news, guys. We didn't get the bends. Boost! Can I park it like it's hot? Perhaps as we submerge, and then come up ins. There we go. That's good enough. Let's get to the ship, save the game, and then we'll go do an ad break. So, with our glass, what does that give us? A supreme mining beam. And inventory slots for our multi-tool. We're gonna hold on to those for later. Let's store those up in here as well. Remember, we're gonna take these back to the main save once we're actually completed the expedition. What are we gonna use sea glass for? Oh geez, it's worth 1.3 million units. High value to collectors across the universe. Well, I'll be. Alright, quick little sit down. And save. Let's go back to the desk, shall we? Here we are. And we will be right back ever so swiftly, you guys. Take a few minutes, grab a drink, grab snacks, do what you gotta do. The Vector Spaceman show continues in just a few minutes. We'll be right back after these tailored and curated advertisements. Let us know what they're trying to peddle on you today. We'll be back real soon. Don't go nowhere. The Vector Spaceman show continues right after this. And if you're a super cool space ace like Ghost or Kieran, then you get to hang out with me for a few minutes. Or maybe you just got lucky and didn't get plagued with ads. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be dope? Wouldn't that be sick? Wouldn't that be swell? Wouldn't that be fancy? Do a little checking on stuff ourselves. Oh, you got that turbo. See, that's the best value you can get at a Twitch, I think. Just one little payment. no ads. Across every stream, what's better than that? What's better than that? I ain't telling them how to do their business, but what's better than that? All right, 1 minute till we're back. 1 minute warning, Space Cadets. Uno momento, por favor. You have uno momento. You got 20 seconds. 20 seconds till we're back into it. The Vector Spaceman's got no brakes. We stop for nothing. Except ads, of course. Our contractually obligated ad times. Oh, and we're back. Swell. Okay. We won't be right back because we are right back. All right, and we're back in game, so let's go back to the game screen. Here we are. You know what? I'm starting to figure out what is causing these crashes. For some reason, it's switching the game screen. So maybe we've got to switch to this screen before we tab back into the game. There's something nefarious at work here. But forward-thinking spacemen that we are, that's why we save. Wow, No Man's Sky. All right, back to our little water world. We've still got stuff to do. I don't think we were obligated to find how you say clams. I think that was just something that came up as like a here's something you can do. So we still got to locate the time-lost wreck of the fireship Arcadia, and we've got to reach 1001 units below sea level. That should be pretty straightforward. We just gotta dive, dive, dive. Let's try that. Splish. All right, we commit ourselves to the deep. Offshore a bit, but to the inky depths we go. All right, we are currently 1/10 of the way there. This is when our sound starts to cut out. No, we really should go more offshore because we're just getting stuck in little underwater ravines here. Yeah, we're not even that far from where we was. Alright, we're offshoring it. Going out into the deep ocean. Can I change the color of this sub? I wonder. It's got nice orange and blue accents, but if I were so inclined, could we change the color? Alright, let's start our descent. We're hitting sandbars again. Alright, we're reaching new depths.
Technology recharge.
I'm gonna be very disappointed if there's spooky stuff down here, Space Cadets. The deep, deep is not a cool place. This is no place for a mighty spaceman. And try to reach depths that don't require us to go into caves. Because we are 100% going to get lost down there if we try. Got no scanning technology whatsoever. Is that something that we can upgrade, perhaps? Oh, yes it is. A mining laser, high-powered sonar, an osmotic generator. That needs more living pearls, though. Need a lot of living pearls, actually. So let's just worry about hitting the deep right now. And we're not even halfway to our target depth. Okay, here we go. We're descending again. Alright, more depth. More depth. Deeper. Let's go deeper. Oh, we're so close. This strikes me as a cave that I don't want to get stuck in. This should do it. This is opening up. Extreme water pressure detected. We're crossing into the deep ocean now. Those are enormous looking manta rays. Oh. Guess you gotta be huge to live down here. Under the ocean blue. There we go, we did it! Cave traversing under the sea isn't much fun at all for trying to get back out. Exactly, it's so hard to get turned around. Look at the scale of those manta rays. Or manta ray-esque critters. Alright. It's time to make our heroic re-emergence. Climb, climb, climb. Don't worry about depressurizing, it's fine, fine, fine. Whoa! Seahorses! See, I told you it was gonna get spooky down here. Too spooky for me. Okay. We're coming up on surface. The light's coming back. And breach.
Incoming storm.
Oh, a storm. Just what we need. And we're so far away from the ship. We careened way off course. Check though, what did that give us? That gave us Supreme Scanning System upgrades and Supreme Movement System upgrades. And more inventory slots that we are going to save for later. Okay, I feel like we should not be affected by the firestorm on account of we are underwater.
Fuel required.
Waves are getting choppy. Now it's just reminding me of Wind Waker. Alright, if we're in for some chop, then let's just cruise below the waves. That used to be my favorite thing to do in Wind Waker. Was just handle all the sailing elements. I used to play with a buddy of mine. He'd do all the fighting, I'd do all the sailing. Perfect synergy. I think every vehicle should have first-person mode in this game, now that I'm getting used to it. So I'm always getting turned around when the perspective changes. They do? You're right, I just didn't have it, okay. It just wasn't bound to my key toggles like the other ones were. Okay. How do you like that? Look at us learning things. Every day like this. Let it never be said that we're not an educational channel. Okay, so the only thing we've got left to do then is locate the wreck of the fireship Arcadia. which we're going to do by building more debris rangefinders. We need quantum computers and we need solar mirrors. We need chromatic metal for the solar mirror. Let's make some chromatic metal.
Ground protection falling.
We gotta grab that out of the ship. Okay, ship inventory. Quartzite. Q is for quartzite. Solar mirrors and quantum computers. We need antimatter as well then. Which means we need more chromatic metal. Check, check. Beauty. All right, back to space. We got a debris rangefinder. Let's go find the ship. Sweeping for wrecks. Tell me when to pulse. I'm gonna mine some debris in the meantime. Okay, we're ready to go. Sweeping for wrecks. We found something. Another stunning wreck. Fireship Arcadia has manifested at the space-time coordinate. While piloting a Corvette, leave the pilot's seat. Right. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Well, that is a big cluster of something or another. That tells you what. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if we get yeeted into space. Ship parts, awesome. Another ship log, awesome. Except I'm being stuck from actually accessing it by some invisible barrier. Awesome. I think it's these huge rocks. This one especially, getting in my way. Come on, just a little closer. Just a little closer. Get me in range. Get me in range. It's just floating there. Menacingly. Can I salvage some more ship parts in the meantime? Why did there have to be an enormous rock? Why did there have to be an enormous rock? If I can still nail it from here. Have we got tone? I can't get any closer. Oh, I think we got it. No, I don't think so. Not quite. Shucks. Come on, it's right there. Just outside my grasp. We honestly might have to try some trickery here. You can mine asteroids now, takes a bit, but you should be able to get rid of that asteroid. We may be able to blast our way to it, eh? Alright, that might have cleared it up. Clipping through here. Why doesn't that one want to explode is the real question. Everything else we're managing to clear out. Just not these little ones. Maybe that's part of the actual ship debris. It's a new system, they're still working out the bugs. Hex yeah. Going from bad to worse, can't wait to get home. Navigation, distorted, nothing but static. Warping, but just empty systems. Lost in some abandoned sector? And tell you what, now we should be able to blast this other salvage piece. Lost in time, we done it. Radiator vents, we take those. And that should be everything under Phase 2. Fancy. Starship Trail customization and Starship Trail plans. Alright, don't need to claim those just yet. You know, we should claim it now, that's fine. So it gets off the screen. New missions. We're on to the 3rd milestone. Reach the 3rd rendezvous point, then what? Then what? Locate another ship, then what? Kill biological horrors. So, this stuff must all have to do with whatever's on this next planet that we're going to. Adopt an anomalous floating companion. What the heck does that mean? Space stuff, tendrils, crush a grub. I never even seen a grub. Shards, spacewalk into a black hole. That sounds exciting. Well, I guess we can sort of set ourselves up for Milestone 3, whether or not we get through all this tonight, because it sounds difficult. Let's check our inventory here. Just a casual day at the office. Spacewalking into a black hole. Yeah, just going for a little dive, you know? Just head first into oblivion. What's so weird about that, man? Alright, let's take a look at this next location. Wow. 2 jumps. Not even a problem. We've got the range for it. Let's see where this one takes us. The Kobaya Odd-Go 14 system. As always, let's park it like it's hot. You know what we ought to do? We ought to take some of those pieces that we picked up. Maybe make some adjustments to the ship. Now that we got more stuff to work with. Take as much of this out of here as we can. Put it all into the Corvette workshop. Or as much as we can. How about I don't need those? I actually like these. The oversized canister links. I think these are a great new addition. Okay. Let's see what we have here. I like these thrusters. Maybe build some, make some scratch built little diddly-do for those. We could trade a couple of unnecessary pieces for some wedges. I'd like to try working with those new wedge pieces. Show me some wedge. Let's see. Yeah, these ones here I like the looks of. That's a 2x1, so maybe... Let me compare it to the size of the thruster. Yeah, so I think we grab a couple of these. How about we trade some Speedbird cowling? You want some of that? Nope. Alright, how about an aerofoil? Yeah, you want an aerofoil. No? Alright, how about a energy shield? Would you like an energy shield? That's a pretty good deal, right? Doesn't seem like a great deal for us, but I'll make it happen. So wedge there, making a really nice compact little ship is what we're going to do. And we're going to put firebox thrusters on either side, just like that. Nice little scratch-built engines. The warp rangeinator was invented by Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz. I ain't gonna read all that. What is this? The technology is now in the capable hands of Vector Spaceman and many other fellow spacemen, all throughout the known galaxies. Yes. Yes. Standing on the shoulders of giants. Intellectual giants. Titans, even. Would love to hide our reactor a little better. I think the only way that we can do that is to sort of slap it back here. Or, follow me here, Space Cadets. We could turn it into part of the thruster block. I'd sort of believe that. We'll actually just make it more forward-facing like this. Yes, on either side. So we just need another Zenith-class reactor. We could get another Zenith-class reactor. Yes, yes. Very good, Spaceman. It's all coming up. And that's going to increase our range as well. Alright, we'll just save that for the moment. Let's buy another Zenith-class reactor, because we've got cash, don't we? We do not really have cash. But we could probably trade our heavy booster. That we're not using presently. For another Zenith-class reactor. 9% trade? We gotta get those odds up. 12%. No? Throw an aerofoil. 14% trade. Son of a gun. Well, alright then. Could we sell for 1.4 milli and our Medusa class reactor? Yes, that's what we need to do.
Received. Units received.
Except we can't actually buy a Zenith class reactor, can we? It's just the Medusa class. Yes. Shoot. Shoot and shucks. Alright, well, so much for that idea. I guess we're just gonna get stuck with an ugly looking one reactor having ship for now. One of these days we'll make it look better. Okay, let's apply color scheme. And that looks a little better than what we had before. Still not our finest work, that's for sure. Now let's go reach that third rendezvous. Is this one planet side? Sure looks like it. Weave through some asteroids. Ow. Did I say weave? I meant smash. Did I say smash? I meant careen. Did I say careen? I meant bounce. On our way to Guillaume 7. A boiling doom planet. First planet we've seen that's got copper, though, I think. Or no, we might have run into one last time. first encounter with a doomed planet. We're coming in hot. If I had to guess, I'd say we're probably looking for this building over here. That's just a hunch. That's just an educated space guess. Dangerously hot. We did it! We reached the third rendezvous. Let's see what we can salvage. Some nanites, cool. Some carbon, cool. Some credits, cool. What's going on in here? Some nothing, cool. Don't these look like pumpkins? Space pumpkins? I'm starting to think. Is this supposed to be Halloween themed? Also, how you doing, Eon? Happy Friday once again. Hope everything's going well. We're on a spooky doom planet. Ooh. All the better since we're just 1 week away from spooky times. Let's review. We're on phase 3 of our expedition now. Just started. That's going to give us an upgrade for our bolt caster and our personal force field, which is probably going to be useful when we have to start fighting stuff. My mouse died, give it a second. Let's go into space, just give it a second. Still died, hold on, there we go. Make sure that our supercharged slot has got the best. It's a mining beam upgrade. We don't need the mining beam to be there. I would love. There we go. Gotta do comparisons sometimes. What's new, Eon? Hope you're having a good start to your weekend. I'm jazzed. We're getting Chivos. We're playing Space Game. We're doing alright. I got tickets to go see Frankenstein tomorrow. The movie I've been wanting to see. Should be awesome. Everybody says it's good. Looking forward to it. USBs are glitching. Just a typical Friday. Alright, we want to find another ship wreckage. Maybe that'll help me figure out where to go for biological horrors. Because where the heck am I supposed to find a biological horror? Ooh, a whispering egg. Does that count? Is that a biological horror? It is a biological horror. Look at them all.
Weather update.
But they can't get me because I am in a spaceship. Oh, easy pickings. Give me a real challenge. I thought this was gonna be hard. These guys can't even jump. Well, they are pretty spry though. Hold still. Take a couple of headshots. It's like shooting horrors in a barrel. Swarm subsiding. No, I gotta kill 6 more of these. Just gotta focus on the still ones. Get back here. Get back here. I have the high ground, exactly. Hello there. Super duper civilized, if you ask me. Yeah, me and Alec Guinness, we go way back. Vector Spaceman. Now I've not heard that name in a long, long time. Alright, so that was unexpectedly easy. Man, these expeditions are so good for getting my inventory up. Okay, I think we got all the baddies. Adopt an anomalous floating companion. What are hungering tendrils? What's a vile grub? Why are there waypoints that seem to be pointing to the stars? Scan planets from space to survey for broodlings. Okay. Okay. Let's do that. To space! Perhaps no broodlings. Space! High sentinel activity, alright. Salvageable scrap, alright. Vile brood. We're on our way to Rahamsto Alpha. That's a very Earth-like looking planet, but it says it's corrosive. Y'all ready to get corroded by this vile brood? We're almost out of fuel here. There we go.
Recharge.
We gotta crush a vile, juicy grub. Juicy was probably an unnecessary adjective for that, but alright. We take it. Helps paint a picture in our minds. Beginning suborbital flight. We thank you for flying with Vector Spaceman. Oh. Go through the cloud layer and a lot of water here. Okay, no touchdown, no bueno. Back to orbit. Let's find ourselves some land mass. We want to be a land spaceman. Again, is that water we're seeing? I think it is. Oh, are those clouds or is that land? Gosh darn it, it was clouds. What the heck is that? An underwater volcano? Got nothing but high seas. Alright, let's turn the beat around here. That looks like land. Unless it's just undersea. It's little island chains, but it's better than nothing. Let's find some grubs. And it's daylight, we appreciate that. Let's post up and smush some grubs. Got here sentient plants, where the grubs at? Where the grubs at though? Dem grubs though. Those are birds. That's floating crystal. That's amino. Ammonia, my bad. Scan planets. Survey for broodling nests. Survey for grubs with the analysis visor. Okay. So not here, is what you're telling me. No matter, we are mighty. Let's start doing a little surveying. Make sure that I'm not gonna clip into the cockpit and start looking for grubs. We just start looking for grubs. Buried cache? No, not grubs. Clams? Don't even need them. Looking for grubs. Love to find grubs. But I don't even know what the icon for grubs is. Vigilant stone. I don't think that's grubs. Stone is not grubs. Jade peas are not grubs. No, no, no. Fossil bed, no. Where are all my fellas? Where are the grubs at? There's juicy grub. Turn it around. We found something. What's all the hubbub about the grub? Bub? And also, where was it precisely? Oh, is it right below us? It is literally right below us. Spaceman, you're such a good judge of distance. Okay. So the Chivo says, crush a vile grub. Now, I'd like to believe that just means interacting with it somehow. But what if we actually landed on it? Wouldn't that be cool? What the F? Didn't expect these guys. Hazmat gauntlet required. Oh no! All our hard work for naught? We're not gonna take this laying down. Hold on. I can't even install a hazmat gauntlet? Look at that. Extract salvage from a derelict freighter gives us a hazmat gauntlet. They just want you to do it in order. Every single time. Why do we try to get ahead of ourselves? Let's build ourselves another debris rangefinder, because that's what we're gonna need. Let's mosey on into space. Alright, let's see if I can hit a add snooze button real quick without crashing the whole stream. Looks like we're still good. Looks like we're still good. Well, at least we know there's a planet where there are grubs. Another fancy crash site. Full of fancy, fancy loot. Ow, ow, ow. Maybe we'll find some better salvage pieces this time, huh? Huh? Here's hoping. Ooh, that's just some walking around money right there. Sick. Some jets. Have ourselves a Jet 2 holiday. Another log. The captain, gone. Tried to wake them from their watch. No sign of them. Nothing on the camera's door logs are normal. No kit missing. Where are they? Where are we? If the Lion King's to be believed, then grubs are pretty tasty and satisfying. Don't believe Disney's lies, you know? Just because they make them look delicious. Just think of how many impressionable young youths
Life support power low.
decided to start eating bugs after they saw Timon and Pumbaa just going at it. We gotta recharge our life support.
Technology recharge.
Okay, we're gonna get a paralysis mortar unit, some unstable plasma, and a signal booster. Okay. So is that for the multi-tool? It sure is. It gets charged with unstable plasma.
Technology recharge.
Cool. Non-violent projectile weapon. Launch projectiles will incapacitate nearby targets. So let me guess. We need that in order to do the adopt an anomalous floating companion mission. Find anomalous floating creatures in purple star systems. Find creatures on planets with the analysis visor. Tame wild creatures by feeding them creature pellets. Okay. And we do have creature pellets in storage here, I believe. Yes. Swell. We got a signal booster. Can decrypt navigation data to pinpoint specific locations. Okay. Anomalous floating companion. Like a ghost? Like a ghost? What else are we working on? Maybe we can skip that one and just go to derelict freighters. Except we need that emergency signal scanner from the Friends in Odd Places mission. Gah! Gah! They really don't make this easy on us, do they? So is this a purple system? Hard to say. We can filter by life form. These ones with stars. Is that ones? It says we visited this one. What's that there? What are these purple ones? Are those wormholes? Anomalous floating fauna detected. Okay, then that's where we want to go. Let's go catch a ghost. The Mayamaga system. We're ghost busting, ghost. Metallurgic moons. That's not what we need. Spec stations. Tell me about that one. Zoom. Scanning. Salvageable scrap. That's another moon. Listen, they'll probably tell me what's on each of these. As a matter of fact, it is not. Tell me we gotta visit each one of these. There's a lot of bases on that one. 35 other bases? Okay, I betcha that there's ghosts on this planet. Now, where was it? Where was my marked planet? There we go. Good deduction, Spaceman. We'll just tab and snooze an ad again. Metallic planet. I don't think we've ever gone to a metallic planet. Ghost must love metal. Metal, let's go. Are those anomalous floating companions? Or are those like... what are those? Start scanning. Is that an anomalous floating companion? That looks like a rock or something. Rare, flying, always active. I can't tell if this guy is... how do you tell if they're anomalous? Or floating? I mean, it is floating. Try to befriend one. Ooh. Ah! We need to gain its trust. Can you say, oh, this looks like a real creature? What was that sound? Interacting with creatures. Calm and tame. Creatures can be fed directly. Bait thrown from the quick menu will calm predators. Feeding a creature gains their trust and allows them to be mounted and farmed. Adopt a creature to gain a constant animal companion. Ooh, adopt as companion. We adopted a critter! An anomalous floater. It's our little orange and blue ghost. Feeling disobedient? No, come here, buddy. Let's give him a treat. And gently pat. And then gently pat again. To show him that we care. And gently pat another time. Just for good measure. He's just a little guy. Can we actually ride this guy? Whoa! Ride might be a stretch of the imagination. Looks like we're gonna have to take a photo. Because that, by golly, that is a thumbnail if ever I did see one. Ghost Planet. Always be thinking. Super. Alright, we do kind of have some control over it though, which is great. Alright, can you get us back up to the ship though? What's your elevation? Okay, apparently not. Dismiss? No, 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 we don't want to do that. We want to say, hey, over here. We're going back to the ship. What a little guy. Companion register, so can we can rename him. Right now he's called Rukiva. We have to think of a good name for our techno ghost. Will he come into the spaceship with us? Oh, he puts stuff in the chat too. Yes, suit creature. We're suit creature. I've always thought of myself as a suit creature. So now we've got an emergency signal scanner. And a whole bunch of other swag. Only problem is that we're over 2.5 hours into stream and we're gonna have to run an ad. But rather than run an ad, we'll probably just wait and come back to this on Sunday and pick it up for maybe an afternoon stream, do some more, see if we can't finish the rest of it off. We got halfway through the 3rd tier. We were only trying to do tier 2, but we got ahead of ourselves, so that's great. Maybe Sunday we can finish up the whole thing. If we're enterprising, you know? If we're slick with it. So we'll save. Just like that. And we'll exit. Super duper. Alright, let's head back to the station and close things out. Pretty productive stream, you guys. Not bad at all. last order of business for the evening. Let's see who's streaming tonight. We'll go say hi to friends of the show. Who's streaming? Who's streaming? Another day at the station. Yeah, another day, another Chivo. All right, we're gonna, we try to spread things out with who we raid into. So I think tonight, let's go see friends of the show, the Nova Swarm. They're doing a little art stream, very laid back, very chill. Ellie, of course, was in that collab stream that we did last night with Rashawn Galaxy, the Jackbox pack. So you'll get to see Ellie, you'll get to see Lyra, you get to see Rig as well. Tell him Spaceman sent you. Show up and say, Space Raid! And then, of course, you can disperse into the ether, into the evening. Do what you must. Do what you will. But at least show up and say hi. Support friends of the show, local independent streamers, self-produced VTubers, just like the Spaceman. And who doesn't love that, man? Let's get that raid set up. All right, looks like we are good to go. Space Cadets, as always, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight, wherever and whenever you are. You can join us again Sunday, probably for an afternoon stream, and if not, then same time, same place, 8 p.m. right here at Harbor Station. We'll catch you on the other side, Space Cadets. Until then, of course, no matter what life throws your way, good luck and Godspeed. This is Vector Spaceman signing off. Now stick around for that raid because we're about to send you off for some more great content for your evening. Take care, everybody. Y'all have a great weekend. Do your best. Achieve something. Or at least have some fun. And we'll see y'all again real soon. Bye-bye.